So today we got again the Ruby card, which 3 days in a row, so it's still your time to shine. So take that seriously. Whatever beautiful gifts you have, like don't overthink it. Like it's time to express yourself. Oh, why am I putting it there? Okay. And then in the Mother Peace deck, we have the 4 of Discs. So, yeah, so it's like a meditative. Well, it's like the same as the 4 of Pentacles, like guarding what you have. But in this case, it seems like it's not necessarily just guarding what you have. It's taking time to balance all the 4 elements and regenerate your own personal power outside from any outside influence. So understanding the value that you have on your own, that like all your forces and powers that you've been and understandings that you have, to appreciate them at this moment and raise your power, because maybe there's right at this moment it seems like there's too many outside distractions and too many people calling on for you to help them or be their savior, whatever it is. And it's actually not a good time for you to overextend yourself to the point where you need to sort of excuse me, take the time away from, like, you can still do what you need to do in the day and everything, and you're not like neglecting important things, or if you're a parent, you still parent and everything, but you respect your need to recharge and just center yourself in your own energy. Sorry, there's someone shoveling outside. I don't know if that's on the mic. Anyway, so yeah, just like in this image, pardon my non-manicure, do that. Like, these are all the elemental forces, this is energy rising, but it's like you can't just like let everybody come in here and like fill up the room. Like you need to just connect with your inner force and passions, and figure, and like, because there's wearing a white robe, like there's a purity of intention. In this, it's like on purpose, connecting, doing the work like someone who is devoted to like a faith. So like having faith that this is the work that you need to do in order to even to be a better person for the outside world. But first you need to love yourself and fill up yourself first and balance your elements, which is echoed in the Temperance card. Okay, so like in this card, there's 1 foot in the water. So it's like, yes, I'm in touch with my emotions and I'm not letting them freak me out, and I'm balancing my the emotions like one to the other. And there's between what is like right in front of you and present and seems to be growing, but then there's also, I feel like, this important mission. Like I feel like at this time for this person, you're being distracted by like what's right in your face. It's saying like, hey, like be with me, let's I'm here, let's, like, this is we can grow together, stuff like that. But then you're sort of haunted by the fact that you have like a more important mission and path that might seem like gross and difficult. And then there's this challenging mountain, but check it out. What's over there? The sun. So there's I feel like when I look at this card, there's more satisfaction in getting through this challenge and going on a higher mission than just sort of taking like whatever towering flowers are like, oh, like I'm here, like look at them, so pretty, and like and they're kind of blocking out anything else. Like they're maybe taking up all your time, like texting or wanting visits or things like that. And it's like you need to balance what you want and stay in touch with your emotions, which is represented by the water here, so that you can move forward and make a balanced decision. It's like, yes, there's some merit to this. There's definitely merit to this. It's like, what do I want? What I'm going to step forward with, in connection with my emotions, which deliver important messages to me about like what I want. And it's important work to not just like go, oh, this is too hard, I'm just gonna be distracted by these many potential suitors or that's just gonna like block me from my mission. So you need to like take the time to balance that out. So these two cards are like buddies in that. And because it's like time to shine, it's not the time to like let these people hide your true essence, your true mission. Life is full of distractions, and like you can't take 2 steps downtown without like passing someplace that sells alcohol or has giant TVs and stuff. So there's plenty of this in life to distract you. It's like, check it out. Do that. Do that important thing, because it's going to bug you, and eventually you're going to see these suitors or whatever distractions as a wall blocking you from this, and you're going to grow to resent them even if they're cute and fascinating for the moment. It's my 2 cents. All right. And then from the deck that I made, we have these 2 cards. So I feel like there's going to be a meeting, an intersection of 2 forces, and maybe talking about stability. So if there is some conversation people want to have about like getting back together and creating stability, that seems kind of like positive. Yes, but like when you have the intersection of forces, there has to be this element of temperance, of like, okay, well, you've got your side, I've got my side. It's like maybe in this conversation, it's like, well, I just want stuff that's easy and right here and satisfying me in the moment. And then maybe the other person's like, well, I have a vision of a greater achievement, and perhaps there's some rough road between here and there, but it's like, well, let's just enjoy it as much as we can and play the long game instead of the short game, And so when these 2 people meet, you might have to like balance and not be reactive. Like you don't want to turn this into a tower moment where it's just like, you want to create stability by having a balanced view of like stuff. Okay. So we also have a lot of cards flew out in the Golden Universal Tarot. So we got this guy, the Page of Cups. So it's like could either be like a youngish person, or it could be like a beginning stages offering of love. It's like, well, here's what I can offer. It's not with the benefit of maturity and power behind it, but it's like, nonetheless, it's an offering, and without it, there's no offer, but there's an offer. So that's pretty great. It will, like, because at present you're feeling left out, but if you have the mindfulness that like abundance and love and everything exists, and you connect with that, then it's more like this. It's like a house with many riches. So you just got to get your head like out of this zone where you're just like, Bummerville. You have a lot of control over where you put your mind. And I'm no expert in law of attraction, but if you put your energy towards something you do want, then your energy feeds that thing to become more real, as opposed to just constantly whining. I mean, you've met people who are always like in this vibe. It's like, oh no, nothing ever works out. Like, and even if you perceive that there's some things going well in their life, like it's the broken record for them, and it might take some of the edge off of like this for them. It might not completely erase it, but it's like, well, how about we just like think this and then see how maxed out we can get based on our optimism and our appreciation of what is good. Because even in a situation that seems like super lame, there are probably blessings. It's like, well, maybe I have too many suitors, and maybe this path seems like a terrible obstacle, but like, how amazing is it to even have a mission in life, have talents that you want to express? And it's like, yes, thank you very much for appreciating me and offering your beauty, whatever. But it's like, thank you, no, And it's like, yes, there are beautiful things in the world, but I don't need to interact and get stopped by all of them. Like, it's like the scene in The Wizard of Oz where it has to cross the poppy field. It's like, don't get drugged by the opium of the poppy field and just fall asleep and forget your mission. Keep going through, follow the yellow brick road to the sun. Okay, all right. Because once you get there, it's like you're gonna have total fulfillment. So let's get out of this like arguing, deprivation, like blah, kind of vibe. Start appreciating what you do have. Get on your mission. Connect with your emotions, balance them, so that you can achieve this, which is like more awesome than just getting distracted by like whatever's just right in front of your face that may be cute. Because sometimes karma knows that like it can't teach you lessons unless you find those lessons appealing. So they're gonna wrap the lessons in someone who's like very attractive, or a situation that's very appealing, or easy, or that because otherwise you'd be like, ooh, these are some hard lessons waiting for me, or like this person's gonna give me an ego death because they're gonna make me feel loved, and then they're gonna reject me, and I'm gonna have to figure out like who I am all over again, and get rid of codependent or narcissistic behaviors. And it's just like everything's so like you wouldn't have those tests unless you were given some situation that was like easy and appealing. So you got to watch that stuff. You can't just like get stuck in don't get lost in the poppy field. And I also get the message, like, if someone's drinking too much alcohol, it's like balance that out so that you can get in touch with your emotions, so that you can see the difference between immediate satisfaction and a mission that will be like incredible, like really incredible. And you'll just be like, I never knew this existed, the life that's on the other side of the mountain where the sun is shining is here. And it's very satisfying. So why would you continue to just keep yourself locked out from that? Okay. I hope you can hear. I'm not like wearing the headphone things. Just let's see how it goes. We also have here from the Tarot of Sexual Magic, the Queen of Swords. This deck has like different descriptions, so I'm going to take the time to read that. Queen. The magic of the black candle. Okay. Solitude is not death. Okay, sorry, there's like a typo here. It just says a undesired partner, but it's an undesired partner an undesired partner must be sent away, even at the cost of breaking your own heart. Woo-hoo. So it's time to like break up with the person that is your immediate distraction here, like the poppy field person who's distracting you from your mission. And it's like, even if it breaks your own heart while you break theirs, it's like you're being called on to make this move now. Because like maybe, it's better than waiting till everything's like falling apart and you've lost your mission. You don't want to do that. So really need to like get in your own zone so you can shine your light of your own purpose. And so you can make an offering to the person who truly is on mission with you, so that you can have all the satisfaction, so that you can come together and create stability. So while this person or energy or situation that you need to break up with or end, while they may seem like the perfect, maybe they look great, or they seem, everybody's like, whoa, good job, or whatever. Even if you're getting public recognition for this coupling because of outside appearances or what you perceive to be incredible potential, it's actually barring you from what you truly want. And you have to have the balls to close off the distractions and know thyself. Because know thyself is like, that's your power. Knowing your weaknesses and your strengths. Sometimes you don't learn about what your strengths are until you're really put under a lot of pressure from horrible situations. So you learn what your parameters are, and then you go through life knowing like, okay, well, I know in the past I've had these go-to addictions that I turn to when I'm under stresses of these types. And then, but I also know that like when pushed, even if I feel hopeless at some point, I still seem to have this thing that, sparks some energy in me that allows me to continue on and actually like become stronger than before. So it's like whatever your case may be, moving forward, you have to know like, well, what has happened in the past, who am I right now, and what do I want to work on, and do I need to ask for help either spiritually or with people, or educate yourself on how to overcome some of these things that you might be surprised how easy they are to overcome if you just like learn even one inspirational quote or whatever. You never know what can be the key to unlock that door that's just like, what? Like, I had no idea. It's like if you grew up in a small town and everybody is telling you like you're this or that, but then you move to some place that, with a feeling of like New York City where anything's possible and you're allowed to be you and your individuality is celebrated, and there's so many different groups of people, it's like, and then you just see that small town thing actually wasn't stopping you from your life purpose and mission. It's just a mindset. So it's like, okay, well, that's what you feel like telling me right now because that makes you feel good, or that you're helping me in some way, whatever. And then you just get back in your zone and like make your cool magic that you came here to do. All right. So we have two more cards, and there's the King of Swords. I'm going to read this too because the Hermetic Tarot is like, like took a long time for the person to draw all this stuff, right? So might as well read what they're trying to do here. Okay, King of Swords. Because my eyesight isn't perfect, like these tiny books. Right, okay. I've said this before in readings, I need to make my own book with giant writing. It's easy to find everything. Okay. Okay, where am I? What is going on? Okay, getting closer. Oh my god, they separate the kings from the other stuff. Okay. All right, here we go. Finally. The prince of the chariots of the winds, the airy part of air. A crowned king sits in a chariot drawn by fairies. Aww. There are pentagrams upon their youthful foreheads and also on their wands. They wear butterfly wings on their heads and feet. The king bears a sword and a sickle. With the sword he rules, and with the sickle he slays. Sorry, I gotta clean my glasses. Beneath the chariot are gray rain clouds, or nimbi, which is another word for clouds. So you don't need to say clouds twice. Book. Okay. Above the king is the crest of a butterfly winged angelic head with a pentagram on its forehead. All right. The meanings are ideas, thoughts, designs, distrust, suspicion, cautious, controlled, but determined. Okay. So I'm gonna. Okay, these the fairies. Okay, I'm just letting you take that. Okay. All right. Sorry, I gotta calm down. All right. I like the fairies that are holding up his arms. These guys. Okay, well, it seems like by expressing yourself and like getting like cutting out the BS, you're then allowing the forces to like create like the earthly riches and stuff that go along with being a king. So you're maintaining this like earthly order by expressing yourself and saying like, you know what? Goodbye. So I can move on. Oh, so I can make this offering to someone else or some other situation that will give me complete satisfaction. But you got to be this guy to do that, right? It's like telling people, like, being in your power, not getting off your throne, and just being like, check it out. This is how things are gonna roll, and so that I can like have this divinely gifted abundance and joy. Like it's like all your cups are filled, all your emotions are being satisfied. Sorry, usually swearing finger there. The total satisfaction, right? But the only way to get there is by being this guy who's just like, you know what? This is how it's gonna be. Like I'm not gonna. Yes, you're great and everything. You seem picture perfect, but nonetheless, I got stuff to do. I got like being awesome is calling me, and I need to get together with this other person, and make stability that really matters to me, and so I can get past this like feeling sad about being locked out from all the divine gifts that are awaiting me. And the last card that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. I don't feel that you're as impatient as I am in this case of me trying to find the definition. But so I appreciate that you're cooler than me at this moment in that regard. Okay. Nine of Pentacles, Lord of Material Gain. A rose branch is seen with 9 blossoming roses. Each rose touches a pentacle. The pentacles are gently turning, suggesting the gradual exhaustion of the original whirling energy. The symbols of Venus encircled and Virgo appear at the top of the card. The meanings are complete realization of material gain, accomplishment, inheritance, covetousness, treasuring of goods. So, I mean, those are like some good and some bad qualities. Let me just have a look. I feel like in this case, in this reading, it's about someone who, like, yes, you've proven to the world that you can get all the attention and like choice. You've got, it's sort of like you've got like a bunch of women, or like that kind of vibe. Whether you're, outside of a gender specificity, just like it just seems like that a feminine vibe of like having control over, like having many choices, too many choices, and they're all kind of like, they all think they're blossoming. They all think they're the only one, and they're not. And you may feel like you've conquered like the dominion of gaining control over the feminine energy, like the loving, receiving energy, where you can just come in and be like, love me, and people are like, yeah, okay. So, and if it's not having to do with people, then it's like situations, and just like that kind of energy of the receiving energy. But there's thorns connect like in between each of these pentacles. So, it seems like it's a bit of a challenge to keep all these things blossoming without causing pain. And it's like time to, it's like, yes, you could go outside and just try to seduce or make friends with whoever, but you don't want to always just be running around trying to conquer like the first thing you run into all the time. Like, you have to have some kind of like vision that's more important than that. Like, you can't just be stopping at every bar and be like, oh my god, they serve beer too, like, oh my god, like, and you have a beer in there, and then you take 2 steps and there's like, oh my god, at this restaurant they also serve beer, that's something amazing, like, what an abundant city this is. Like, you just can't be getting off track all the time like that. It's like, yes, you have the power to engage with all these different, or it's like, oh my god, I love all these shows, I'm going to watch all of these shows, or I'm going to like, it's like, yes, there's a lot of stuff out there, but you have to be discerning. Otherwise, you'll just totally lose track of what's awesome and why you're here. So you got to be this guy sometimes, where you're just like, guess what? Like, I'm in charge of the vision of my life. And that means sometimes being harsh in some people's eyes, where you're like, well, I thought he was so nice, but it's like, actually, he cuts stuff out when, I just mean like the king energy, which anybody could have. You got to be this guy sometimes, to give yourself the time and the space to regenerate your energy, to get in balance and go like, okay, I'm not being totally influenced by either. I'm in touch with my own emotions, I'm balancing them, and then I can move forward so that I can walk towards this, which is emotionally satisfying. And I'm not just like taking stuff at face value and getting immediate satisfaction over stuff, because right now it's like, mistreating people or juggling energies or juggling people is just making people feel shut out. And you're actually, by having too many situations on the go, you're depriving these people from finding their satisfaction, and that's like selfish, especially if they don't know the truth. And if they knew the truth, they'd be like, ouch, these thorns. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I was connected to this other woman and this other woman and this other woman by these, these painful thorns and stuff. So like, get on your mission and shine like a ruby, and get together with a person that you actually need to talk to, that you want to create stability with, that you feel can be the partnership to take you towards your greatest satisfaction, which is just here on the other side of the mountain, right? It's like, yes, beautiful situations and distractions exist, but check it out. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so that's the reading for today. I hope it was of some value to you. And while I didn't spend years learning about tarot cards, it is one way to get to know each other so that you can decide if you want a healing session. I'm a Reiki master and triple flame healer and priestess, and I mean, I enjoy tarot card readings from other people, so it's a nice community to be a part of as well. But like, I do offer readings and healing sessions and stuff if that's what you want. I could be contacted with my email that I put at the bottom. All right, I'm gonna try to turn this off now.